Hola, bienvenidos a Lightspeed Spanish. Well, up to now, you've heard me say lovely things about Spain. However, it's time. Es la hora de quejarme. It's time to complain. Y hablamos de todo en la segunda parte. What, I hear you say, what on earth could Gordon be complaining about living in Spain with all of that sun and all of that loveliness and the sangria and the chorizo and the jamón and the paella? What on earth could he find to complain about? Well, I'm going to complain about something, and I know in my heart that the majority of Spaniards who are watching this are going to say, can't fault you, mate, you're right. What is it I'm going to complain about? Los funcionarios. Los funcionarios, they are the civil servants. They are the government workers. They are the people who work for the government. Now, I don't know if you know, but in Spain, it's one of the countries that has one of the highest numbers of civil servants. And in and of itself, well, okay, fair enough. They've got a lot of civil servants. What's the problem? Well, the problem is this. In my experience, what we call the red tape, the way that things are done here in Spain, is so complex, so difficult, and so time-taking that sometimes when you're doing what they call un trámite, you lose the will to live. But why? ¿Por qué? Because los funcionarios have a bit of a reputation. And the reputation that they have is this. Well, let me quote from my father-in-law. Gordon, hazte funcionario. Vives de puta madre. Become a civil servant and live wonderfully. De puta madre would be our version of live a wonderful life. Why does my father-in-law think that's the case? That's because funcionarios have a reputation of not working very hard. Funcionarios have a reputation of taking their time to do things. And Spain has a reputation of having so much red tape, so many offices you've got to go to, so many people you've got to speak to just to get something simple done. Well, you can be on for days, weeks and months. Here in Spain, yo soy autónomo. What does that mean? I'm self-employed. Now, with that comes a rather hefty load in terms of paperwork and joining the Social Security and paying your tax and stuff like that. Before I could even become self-employed, I had to get my NIE. And the NIE is a little card that identifies you as a foreigner living in Spain. Let me tell you that to get that took me like 3 trips to Guadalajara with all of my paperwork like this, all of my paperwork and all of the information and my bank and my God knows what, marriage certificate and whatever, birth certificate. I went there 3 times. The first 2 times I was sent away because the man, sometimes the woman as well, was sitting there going, ¿no tienes el documento no sé qué, no sé cuántos? I don't think so. Do you not have that document? What about this document? Have you got that one? And there's something about it. And if you're Spanish, come on, you mustn't disagree with me here. When they can send you away, it's almost like there's a little glint in the eye of like, phew, that's given me 5 minutes break. Off you go. I got sent away twice saying, go away and come back with another document. I went away and I came back with the other document, but it was a different person. And that person said, ¿Y no tienes ese documento número no sé qué, no sé cuántos? And I said, no, I haven't. The last person didn't ask me for that. And then they said, pues hace falta ese documento. Es imprescindible ese documento. And so I had to go away. Anyway, by the third time, I was absolutely raging. I was raging when I was driving home. The reason is, look, in the UK, the UK has many faults, but one of them is not red tape. In the UK, we seem to be very, very good at just signing up for things. You can do it online. Takes not very long. When Cynthia, my beautiful wife, came to the UK, she needed a national insurance number. And we went to Newcastle, I remember, to an office, and we went in, and a man was another funcionario. They're not that much different in the UK, except they just don't have so much red tape. And he said, la la la, give me a passport, yes, da 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 da. Okay, there's your national insurance number. And my wife went, I've got it. And I think we were in there about 15 minutes. And here in Spain, I reckon that I've spent at least 10 to 20 hours, if not more, sitting in front of somebody. I remember going once with my father-in-law to some place in Guadalajara. I can't remember even what it was for. It was something complex that I didn't understand. I've got to say that it was when I first moved to Spain, I did not understand what was happening. But we were sitting there and we waited our turn. Okay, we had a little ticket. We got out the ticket number. We went up to the desk. The guy was sitting like this. With a it's cliche, but this is exactly what he was doing. He had a newspaper. He had his coffee. It was clear that I had the bad timing spot. This was his coffee time. And he had a newspaper. And I sat down with my father-in-law, and the guy went like this. Folded his newspaper up, turned around to face me, took a drink of his coffee, and then said, ¿En qué puedo servirle? I was sent away from that office once more because I didn't have all of the documentation. And again, he looked happy to send me away. And what I found was when I would complain about that to my familia política, my Spanish family, they would always say, ya lo sé, es terrible, ¿verdad? Everyone knows what it's like here in Spain, because it isn't just me being a Brit in Spain. All Spanish people have the same problem. My wife, my beautiful wife, phoned once, talking, I think it was something about a refund that we were due. And she spoke to the first person. I was standing next to her because I was there for moral support. When you're going to phone an office, like a government office, you need somebody there just to be stroking you, saying, it's okay. And the woman said to her, ¿Cuál es la consulta? And she explained. And the woman said, I'm not the person that you have to speak to. I'm going to pass you through to the next person. Te paso con... Vale. So my wife then went to the next person, and the woman said, ¿Cuál es la consulta? And she explained exactly the same thing. And, obviously when you're explaining it, it takes a little while. And the woman said, pues esta oficina no. I will put you in touch with the right person. So she put her in touch with the next person. And my wife then explained the same issue again. As she finished, the woman said, let me stop you there. You've come through to the wrong office. I'll put you through to the right person. And then she put her through to the next person. My wife said, I've just spoken to you. You were the first person that I spoke to. So what they'd effectively done is they had passed my wife around the offices and come back to the same person. And the person said, but it's not me. And that was when I knew España tenía problemas. And it's for that reason that there exists a job here in Spain that doesn't exist in the UK. What is the job? Gestor. Un gestor exists here in Spain because nobody can be asked to have to go through all of that trouble all of the time. So they pay somebody to do it, and they do it on your behalf. I have a gestor que se llama Sergio, and Sergio solves all of my problems for me, but I've got to pay him every month, and that's not good. And so please listen to me the leaders of Spain as if they were going to. Please listen and let's try and sort out the red tape here in Spain. It's a pain in the bum. And while we're on about it, let's treat autónomos a little bit more nicely here in Spain. You would think that we were the scourge of the earth. Self-employed people are not celebrated in Spain. They're not, yay, look at the self-employed people. Isn't it excellent? No. No help. And we have to pay very large amounts of money every month just to be it. Just to be one. What's all that about? Pero bueno, esta es mi opinión sobre uno de los pocos problemas que tiene España, pero es un problema bastante grande, la verdad. No hay muchos, pero este es enorme. Hasta luego.